No, my name is cut off. Wonder how I can. It's fine that my name's cut off. Hi, how y'all doing? I'm sorry that I'm late. If you are catching the playback, usually the live chat replay takes a little bit to upload, but this live stream is going to be about my mini docu-series called Truth or Dies, episode 3. So I will answer some questions that you guys have and kind of talk about that episode, plus what is going to happen on episode 4. How y'all doing? Hi, Katie. Happy little elf. I like your name. Hi, Ace. Hi, Panda. Hi, Jesse. So I'm sorry that I was late tonight. It was just a little crazy in my house. That light is bright as hell. I really want to turn it off. Hold on. Let me see if it looks horrible because girl's tired and that I knew it would do something stupid. I knew that it was going to do that to the light. But, I feel like, is that annoying? Should I turn that light off too? Oh my God, hi. Did we need the ring light? I kind of feel like it makes you look like an alien, you know what I mean? Because it does the ring thing in your eyes. Let me know if that is too annoying, and then I will turn that light off too. Where's Hank? Tom's face has been here since the beginning of time. I had this what was it? I had this head antlers. I don't know if it was a deer. I don't know what it was. That light's bright. Yeah. Well, when I turn off my ring light, it kind of makes that one violent. Okay, so we're just gonna rock with it. Just get closer. Just come here. So yeah, I had this thing in my hallway where I used to do these videos in this little townhouse that I had, and we just named him Hank. And I don't really know where that guy went. He used to be at the old house. I had this closet in my filming room. He used to be in the closet. I literally just got out of the shower. I attempted to install a new washer, and the internet makes it look so easy. So with the confidence of Kanye, I decided I got this bitch. So I I turned off the water that leads into the washer. I turned off the water on the hot water tank or whatever, and I'm like, I mean, how much harder could it be? So I started unhooking shit again with confidence I should not have had. And it flooded my laundry room, which flooded the basement. And then I'm like, what in the actual fuck? So I band-aided it. The hot water turned off, but not the cold. So I put you guys don't care, but it's funny. I put the hose in the little section where the water drains from the washer. And then I'm freaking out. I'm calling people. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're a dude. You probably know this. What? How do I turned off the thing and I turned off these thingies by the washer and the thing downstairs. What is going on? And every single person I called was like, yo, dude, I don't know. I'm here for you though. Thank you. Thank you for being my emotional support friend right now. But how do I turn the water off? And it was a complete mess. And then I Googled some stuff, and every single thing on Google and YouTube and everything else was like, there's going to be an emergency shut off valve, and it's probably in your garage. So I'm like, okay, garage. Nope. My garage said, fuck right off. We don't care. Just keep looking. So then I'm 2 hours go by, and the water is still violently running into the drain where the washer drains. And I'm like, you know what? It's Band-Aid. I guess this is just our life. we just live like this now. So I FaceTime somebody and I'm like, bitch, I don't even know. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. It should be off. Then I'm like, where do I have one of those stupid little thingies that you do a quarter turn? Where is there another one in my house? I know there's the one on the hot water heater. There's got to be another one, right? Because the hot water's off, but not the cold. Where is the other one? And it just hit me. I have one by my desk in the studio, and it's always really irritated me, and I've never had any idea what it's for. And let me run down there and just start turning shit, Let me just start turning handles and knobs in my house. It'll work out. And lo and behold, the cold water thingy is, it's on my fucking desk in my studio because of course it is. Of course it is. And, one of the problems that that I have gotten into is that I've made my house very custom. I've built walls around shit that I probably should not have built walls around. I've built desks around shit. I've painted a lot of shit black. Um, so everyone else's basement does not look like this. Everyone else's garage does not look like mine, which is a shit show. Um, and I'm like, "What the mine looks nothing like that, bitch, because you built walls around shit, because you painted shit black, okay? Like, this these are the consequences of your own actions." So, that was fun. Um, I had a really good time, but that's why I'm late. Yay. But, I'm the man around those motherfuckers, so I just feel like I can do things that I have no, no business doing, like drywall, so and, installing a new washer. Yep, yep, that worked out. I learned the hard way too. Yeah, I the thing is, I will eventually figure it out, and I do know how to do some shit, but there's definitely some things I have absolutely no fucking business in doing that I'm like, "Pfft, I got it." I watched like 4 TikToks. We're good. We're totally fine. Take a breath, babe. Are you nervous? I talk fast. I talk fast. I have ADHD. I watch YouTube videos on 1.75 speed. You love my background? Thank you. I had absolutely nothing to do with this, and it is very pretty. So I had someone come in and do that's kind of blurry, sorry, and do the whole wall. Don't be blurry. And her name is the Flower Doctor on Instagram, and she's incredible. But you did it so you can. Yeah, no, the broken washer is still there, but it's not flooded. So a win is a win. I have ADHD and it's truly terrible. Yeah, it's not great, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand ADHD and just how debilitating it is at times and how it comes with emotional irregularity and it's hard. It comes with sensory issues. It comes with a lot of things that like people don't understand. Commonly in women, the hyperactivity part is in my brain, in our brains. So a lot of times boys can get diagnosed, and this is not for everybody, but a lot of times boys, men, they get diagnosed early on, which makes figuring out like what to do to help them. It makes figuring it out easier if you can get diagnosed early on. But I was diagnosed at 32. I'm now 34, 28 if you ask my kids. Um, and it was hard, it was hard to figure out what the hell was wrong with me. And yeah, I don't think that you should ever feel some type of way about getting a diagnosis because it's just information that helps you take better care of yourself. And for me, that information was, um, I mean, it's been invaluable, but at first I was like, I don't have ADHD. Then I started telling people, and they're like, "Yeah, no, that checks out. That checks out." And I'm like, "Really? That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna go get 2 more diagnoses from different people just to make sure." And they're like, "I'm gonna say the same shit as the last dude. Did you have ADHD?" So it took a journey for me personally to, like, accept the fact that I had ADHD and that I have, like, severe ADHD and a lot of sensory issues and, all that stuff, but I'm doing good with it. Now I know that if I have a panic attack over, like, a robe, because all the towels are dirty and I can only use them once. Now I know if I have a panic attack over a bathrobe because the way that it's feeling on my skin is not I'm crazy. It literally means that I'm more sensitive to it because I have sensory issues, and it helps me feel less crazy. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Love you, just been here since the early days, 9 years clean, with the help of groups. Been through a lot of the same things. Oh, well, thank you so much for being here, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad that you're in groups. I now officially volunteer for groups, by the way. I will never stop talking about them. I will never stop advocating for them because I love them, and they have been able to help so many people. We have, like, 15,000 members, and, Yeah, I love them so much. I don't have ADHD. Life while watching a live stream. Chat and Cat said, "I wanna thank you for being one of my inspirations to start my channel." You're welcome. That sounds like autism. Yeah, there's a lot of parallels between ADHD and autism, sensory being one of them. I have been tested for autism, and I'm just severe ADHD. So, yeah, there are a lot of parallels. Help me accept that I need you help me accept I should read these out loud, right, if you're watching, like, the playback? I know, like, some people have commented that, and I never do it. I'm like, "Brr, brr, 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 okay," and then I just talk. "You help me to accept that I need a program like groups, thank you, and now I can trust that I'm not getting screwed over buying strips off the street." That's so hard. That is really hard. I believe in harm reduction. I believe in all pathways. I believe in meeting people where they're at and not judging them. And we know whatever their lifestyle looks like, whatever their background looks like, I don't judge you. I love you and I want you to get better. Having said that, and I've said this my whole career, I am not in the recovery community for my own personal recovery. I'm not the face of the recovery community. Have more often than not kind of steered away from the recovery community. Again, just in my personal walk, that does not mean that I will not advocate and work with the treatment center and help as many people as I can. But I have, seen so much toxicity and I have been, you know, um, kind of in and out of it my whole life, in terms of like AA and NA and all of that. I don't work a 12-step program. I've again said that for 5 years. It's not something that worked for me. It's just something that kind of added stigma and shame, and people would gatekeep. And again, this is my personal journey. I think the recovery community can be very toxic at times, and I'm very grateful that I have met some incredible people in that community. I've met some incredible people, like the whole team at Groups Recover Together, that believe the same things that I do, that just want to pour love and encouragement and advocacy and help into the world. Um, and it's a hard balance because this is an unpopular opinion. Um, this is an unpopular opinion. It might make some people mad, and that's okay because I've been doing this forever. um, just because you are in recovery from whatever you're recovering from, that does not mean that you're educated on the industry of treatment. That doesn't mean that you're educated enough to speak on it publicly. And sometimes people that do cause more harm than good. Have I been guilty of that at times, from feeding into drama or saying things that I maybe shouldn't have said? Sure, absolutely. I'm a human. But at the end of the day, I think that if you are gatekeeping, causing harm, shaming other people, judging other people, trying to nitpick how they're recovering or how they're living, I think that you're causing more harm than good. And that's not to say that like you should be like perfect and say everything correctly, because no one's ever going to do that. Um, but my message has always been love and support, and encouragement, and education, and I will continue to double down on that until the day that I die. So, um, back to the docu series. In episode 3, I was pretty nervous to put that out for obvious reasons. The whole thing makes me nervous and on edge, and I'm constantly second guessing the message behind it. I'm constantly second guessing my heart in it all, and I'm doing my absolute best to stay true to the education behind it and stay true to um, just doing the best that I can to share my story to help other people. But it is very personal. And it is very hard to watch these clips. It is very hard to put it together and edit it and see some feedback on it. Um, there's a lot of time in between each episode where I am overthinking it and second guessing it and crying and um, getting pushback in a very negative way, where I'm further subjected to post separation abuse. I am, it's a lot, but I know that what I'm doing is going to help people. I know that it already has. And where is this docu-series? Yeah, it's on It's right here, Harley, what are you talking about? It's Truth Never Dies, and it's all on my YouTube channel. Severe ADHD, that means keep prescribing me those amphetamines and methamphetamine salts, Adderall. There are stimulant medication and non-stimulant medication for ADHD, and whatever medication that is working for someone is none of your motherfucking business. I just feel like there was a little jab right there, but it's fine. It's fine. Recovery does not mean abstinence for everyone. Um, and even if you are abstinent, that could change over time. I was abstinent for 7 years, and that changed because I almost, um it got so bad. My mental health got so bad, and white knuckling it got so painful, that I almost took my own life, and I had to go back to therapy and get help and see a doctor, and I've always struggled with, um, suicidal thoughts since I was about 12. Um, and I've had several attempts, and it got really bad, and abstinence, it wasn't doing me any good anymore, it was causing more harm, and, yeah. So, you know, that was my journey, and I still struggle with it, I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I have to keep a very close eye on, it's something I have to be very honest with myself about, it's something I have to be very honest with my therapist about, and it really is a journey, and it sucks, it, like, really fucking sucks that my brain just decides to be at war with itself. Caddy, I'm gonna call you Caddy. She said, "If nobody's told you today, what you do matters, and your realness is so appreciated." Thank you. Yes, harm reduction is a lifesaver for many people. I've seen it clean. You know, and again, I've said this a few times before, but I don't even like the verbiage that we use for substance use disorder. I don't. I don't like saying that I'm X amount of years clean because what's the opposite of clean? Dirty. So I don't like saying clean. It just makes me feel uncomfortable because it means on the other side of the token, if I was an active addiction, it would mean that I'm, like, dirty, you know what I mean? And maybe that's just my brain doing that, but I don't even like saying certain words that we use in the recovery community, but I don't really know what else to say, so I have said that in past videos. There's so much about all of that that I just don't like. I just don't like the way that we think about it. I don't like the way that we treat people in addiction, active addiction, or in recovery. Um, I don't like people screaming online that you need to be held accountable. Yeah, okay. In spaces where I feel safe, in spaces where they feel safe, not to strangers online, not it's none of your business what this person's going through. And I think that is kind of like the blurry area that some people just don't seem to understand. They think that they need to get online and scream about medication that people are taking or scream about just the way that they've chosen to live their lives, and it's really unfortunate because that pressure and that shame and that stigma and that violence that people choose online, like, that causes more harm, you know? You do you. You do and always have mattered. Haters come when you're doing something right. Yeah, it's been really heavy this year, But, and in one sense, I'm glad that, like, the whole cancel me thing happened, um because on one side of the coin, yeah, sure, that shit was mad negative, and I fell into a really dark depression. Stopped doing Invisalign 'cause it's so rough, and that was really hard. But there's always something to learn out of that, and I truly believe that if all of that didn't happen, 1, I wouldn't understand how bad victim blaming truly is, because like, you hear about it, right? You hear how bad people get victim blamed, but unless you experience it, you don't really know, and I've experienced it too, like I've experienced 1,000 lifetimes of victim blaming, and some people are vicious and fucking shitty, and they're complete cunts. And then the other side of the coin, I think it's unintentional. And I think that the some of the victim blaming is really just from lack of knowledge on the topic, and um, I don't think it comes from a hateful place. So there's 2 sides of that. So I did learn how vicious people can be and how bad people victim blame. Um, And at the same time, once I kind of snapped out of what I was going through, I realized the impact that my story can make and how I can help people, and that is always gonna come with hate, especially if you have kids, because the idea is for some reason in society, that if you have children with your abuser, that you're, I guess, not allowed to speak out, you're not supposed to speak out because you could be hurting the children. No, full stop. They I will not stay silent because I have children. I am more than a mother. Yes, that is the most important job, but I am my own person. My abuse story is real. It happened. I won't stay silent because I have kids. In fact, I should not stay silent because I have them. They should be the catalyst as to why I fight for change and why I share my story. So to try to silence a survivor, um, because they have kids is really gross, and it's been really eye-opening to say the least. My hair looks silly. Yeah, I just washed it, like, I literally just got out of the shower, so it's kinda doing this weird, like, frizzy thing. I saw that someone is trying to make peace with you. How did that go? Are we talking about Schmindy? Hi, we talk. She's apologized and, um, you know, I don't hate anybody, and I think maybe that is kind of been misconstrued. I don't have hate in my heart, and that's how I sleep at night because I know how I am. I know my heart. I have no hate in my heart. It's too heavy to carry grudges, and that is, like, across the board, but I am talking to her, and, she shared some things with me that I needed to see, which I appreciated, and, we'll just see how it goes. But she has not officially made parole with me. She knows that, but she's been really decent and, pretty honest with me about things, and I appreciate that, so I was told by a pastor I'm just gonna stop reading that sentence because I feel like it doesn't go well. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Hold on, let me let me read it, hold on. I was told by a pastor that I should stay with a bio dad who was emotionally and mentally abusive for the sake of the children. Oh my fucking god, I knew that sentence was not gonna be good. No. No, staying in an abusive relationship for the sake of the kids causes more harm than good because two peaceful and safe homes are better than one toxic one. And this idea that we should stay in unhealthy, unhappy, and abusive situations because we have kids is the most fucked up thing. That is the reason why you need to leave. You should not stay in a relationship that is abusive because you have kids. It's the complete opposite of stay together for the children. Okay, so that they can repeat that pattern so that they can find people like their parents' relationship. That is the example that you wanna set because that is not okay, and you can say all day long, "Never marry a man like your father, never marry a woman like your mother." You can say that all you want, but we repeat patterns. We think that that's normal. When we grow up seeing the cycle of domestic violence, we just think that that's normal, um, and it's not. And it's not. So the most important thing, the hardest thing that I did was leave. The man that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, the man that I was so in love with, I left him because he was abusive. And that was the hardest thing that I ever did. And I left him for my children's safety, for my children's mental health, for my children's future. It was the hardest fucking decision that I ever made, in my recovery. It was so hard. Um, but, like, the hard shit that we have to do, that is, like, the most important shit, and I just had the balls one day to do it. I had the balls one day to leave, and, I knew that in that moment, if I didn't get up right the fuck now, get a storage unit, get as much shit as I could out of the house, like clothes and birth certificates and whatever we needed, I knew if I didn't do it that day in that moment, I would never have the strength to do it, and I knew that my kids had already heard enough and seen enough. I didn't know the scope of what they had heard at the time. I thought I was doing a pretty good job of shielding them from that, um, but I wasn't, and you never are. You never are. Your kids see and hear and can feel so much more than you think. Um, like, a lot of things that have come out in the past year, and it's last week was a year to the day that I left. Um And the things that have come out in therapy have been so there was a lot that I didn't know that happened that my babies told me, and it was just oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. It took me 7 times to leave. Yeah, um, when I left last October, I went back a few times and I tried to make it work, and I still thought that I could fix it, I could help him, I could change it, I could pour more into him, which I didn't have to empty pitcher. Can't pour from an empty pitcher. But I thought I could save us, and I thought I could still outwork and outlove the situation, you know? I thought that if I just show him how bad this is hurting me, if I show him how much I love him, if I show him this and that, like, he'll stop, right? He'll get better. He got worse. He fed off of it. He fed off of my pain almost. Um, and that's, like, again, like, really hard to say because I don't I don't know. I don't wanna talk bad about him, but at the end of the day, what he did was horrible. The way that he's acted in the past and is currently acting is not acceptable, and it's not okay, and it's hard, and he needs therapy. He needs intense psychotherapy, in my personal opinion, because he does have a personality disorder, and he needs a lot of help, and you can't, like can't change personalities, but you can learn, um, why it is that your brain works like this, and you can learn healthy ways to cope with that, and you can learn how to be not so fucking hurtful to the people that you love and care about, like your family and your kids and your friends. So, is he still using? I don't know. And I can't speak on anyone else's recovery or sobriety or journey, and I won't ever try to ever again in my life. I don't know. I'm not with him. I don't see him on the day to day. He hopefully he is. I don't know. People do not understand the pain of leaving because you don't leave because you don't love them, you leave for your kids. Yeah, I really believe in my soul that I loved the person that he showed me that he was. I loved the version that he wanted me to fall in love with, I didn't really fall in love with him. So it's kind of been like it's been so traumatic to think about all of the things that happened because in my mind now that I know as much as I know, um, it feels like my life was not real. It feels like this person that I fell in love with was not real. And it's just it's a lot, and leaving someone that is narcissistic or toxic or abusive, whatever term, I can't diagnose anyone. Um, it's different. It's much harder than leaving a regular relationship because you are literally fucking trauma bonded to this person, and you are addicted to this person in the same way that you become addicted to drugs or a substance. Those high highs and low lows that you go through, that roller coaster that you're on becomes addictive. Your brain seeks out the same chemical, serotonin, dopamine and serotonin that you do get when you're using drugs. It is the same chemically. Um, so it is way harder to leave a person that you're trauma bonded with, that is very narcissistic, that is very abusive, that is very, um, just mean and vindictive and has, like, literally gaslit you to the point where you think that you can't even function without them. That's the whole trauma bond. It's way harder to leave that kind of a situation than it is to break up with anyone different, you know what I mean? Um, and if you pay real close attention, someone that is narcissistic or toxic or abusive, they will always tell you who they are via confessions, and sometimes that is admissions from what other people did to them, allegedly. Like, they will tell you who they are if you pay close enough attention. They will. And, for me, in my personal experience, pipes go along my I don't know if you guys can hear it. For me and my personal it's gonna bother me. Hold on. Can you hear that? I kinda wanna show you. You guys can hear it? Okay. So, do you see this pipe right here? Um, the water goes all the way okay, and that's where the valve was from earlier, and I love that for me. Um, so what was I saying? Um, what was I saying? Are you suing anyone on YouTube? Yes, I am. I am suing 3 people. Um, yep. What was I just saying? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Is baby daddy aware of the situation? So the man that biologically, physically helped me create my oldest daughter, Micah. I don't know him. We don't know him. He's never been involved in any kind of way, shape, or form in our lives whatsoever. Period. He's never met our daughter. Um, he's just he physically made her. That's it. He is her sperm donor and nothing more. And I don't know if he knows my situation or anything about me other than obviously what I put on the internet. Um, yeah, I don't know him at all. I've never known him. I met him in 2011 when I was using stop flushing the toilet, guys. My kids. Um, so it bothers me so much. I don't know why. So I met him in 2011. I was using, we dated for like 4 or 5 months. I went to jail, found out I was having Micah, told him in the hallway, I'm like, hey, bro, having a baby. He's like, is it mine? And I'm like, nope, it's mine. And that was really, it's kind of where that involvement ended. Yes, he knows. I sent him pictures not every month, but I sent him pictures very often over the 7-year bid that he had. I sent him pictures and updates of Micah several times every year. And when he got out in 2018, shit, I don't know. When he got out, he had planned to meet us in Arkansas, and he never showed. And that was really the end of it. He did try to reach out a few months ago, and I said, "Hey, if you want to call me every day for 30 days, just check in with me a little bit, just for 30 days, then I'll let you communicate with her if she wants to. But I'm not going to have that conversation with her unless you can call every day for 30 days, check in with me just once a day, just for 30 days. If I don't answer, leave a voicemail, send a voice memo, just one thing, a text, one thing every day for 30 days. Then I will talk to her about it and see what she wants. She's 11 and very very emotionally aware. I'm very emotionally intelligent. And after that one day where I said that, he's like, "Oh, for sure, absolutely. I'll call every day. I'll text every day for 30 days. I want to see her. I want to get to know her." He did not call the next day, and if he reaches back out again, same thing. Call me every day, text me every day, just for 30 days, and then I'll ask her if she would like to talk to you. Um, and that's kind of my plan until she asks me about him, and of course, I'll tell her everything, and I'll say, "Absolutely, this is this person, and you can call, text, whatever you want, but it's gonna be on her terms, and it's gonna be when she's ready." And, you know, some of these comments are crazy. Tell me you haven't actually watched Jessica without telling me. Yeah, and some people are seeing me for the first time all the time, so I have to kind of just be a little more patient. Oh, how they show themselves if you're paying attention. Okay, so in my personal experience, my ex he would say that his ex was stalking him and cheating on him constantly and doing all these things and, um, you know, just gaslighting, like every single possible thing under the sun, he said that she did. Everything that she says is a lie. She stole all my money. She stole from me all the time. I had to check my wallet if I get anywhere near her. She can only communicate via email. Um, and now I see that like, oh, actually, that's what I feel like I feel like that's what you're doing. And now I can only talk to you via email, which that has changed over time. We do call and text sometimes. Um, it's not snowing in Chicago. It was really hot today. Not hot for, like if you live in, like, Vegas, you wouldn't think this was hot, but it was, like, kinda like a muggy, like, 75 degrees and kinda rainy. Do you think he might have gotten ideas about how to hurt you from the first videos you posted about his abuse? I rewatched it, and the other day, I got a vibe. I think throughout our almost 9-year relationship, he was cataloging ways to hurt me, you know, and whether or not I made the first video in January titled, um, "I've been silent until now," whether or not I made that video or not, post-separation abuse is something he would absolutely still be doing. It is his personality type. It is the way that he is. He is very vindictive, and um, I'd be going through it whether or not I'm silent or not. So they kind of do that. They kind of catalog. So I don't think the video had anything to do with it. And and here I want to be really clear about this. Hold on. Um, take a breath. I just got like really nervous. If you do something wrong in a relationship that is very narcissistic or toxic, if you do something wrong, and it could be something that they have done to you, say you do the same exact thing that they do to you, um, they will never forgive you. They will never let it go. They will always and forever punish you for it. They will get you back. And someone that is very covert, you know, if they're a covert narcissist, then they find clever ways to do that. They're not going to say, "Hey, I'm mad at you." No, they're going to give you the silent treatment. They're going to quietly move in the shadows to do things to hurt you that could be speculated against later. Like, I didn't do that. Prove that I did that. You can't because I didn't do it to your face. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I'm dealing with. Someone that has fed drama channels bullshit and lies and has fed has fed people throughout this year in an attempt to, just further add to the smear campaign that he literally started. Now, is he physically saying these things on the internet? No. He has flying monkeys that do that. And that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. And that is hard. That is hard. I know I can't diagnose him, but that is what I'm dealing with. The anonymous calls to DCFS, the police reports, the saying I stole my own vehicle, just all of it. Um, it's just, I did get my baby books back, Amber. I did. I have the baby books. I have all of the girls' squishamallows, and that was that was Operation No Squishamallow Left Behind, which sounds stupid. But we have all the squishamallows and the baby books, and yeah, you'll see. You will see in episode 4 another. I want to say like 45 minutes of body cam footage, where yep, you're gonna see it all, and that's really just my goal is to show all of it, all the mistakes I've made, um, things that are hard to share. I think showing my mistakes along the way. I don't even want to. I don't know if I call them mistakes. My reaction to this has not been great, has not been perfect. There are things that I regret. There are things that I definitely shouldn't have done. Um, And I'm trying to heal my triggers in the way that I respond to things, and I really shouldn't fucking respond to things with him, period. I shouldn't respond, and that's hard. That takes a lot of self-control and a lot of discipline, and I, I haven't responded very well recently, the whole thing when you're dealing with someone like that is, don't react. Don't react. And I have to remind myself of that sometimes, but it's very, very, very hard. He knows exactly what to say and exactly how to say it to trigger me into becoming a complete psycho. So that's fun. Do you think it's him calling DCFS? It's a good question, or some trolls. So, um, every report will tell you, they won't tell you who called necessarily, but I've I have had 3 open and closed DCFS cases, and they've all been unfounded because of false allegations, and now it is marked in my file as these allegations are, like, literally harassment. Um, but I have 911 calls of his father doing wellness checks on me. I have body cam footage of him saying that I'm using drugs with children, so, cops have to report that to DCFS. Like, teachers are mandated reporters, cops are mandated reporters. They have to kinda send that up the chain, so in January, it was my ex. The next case after that was, the, domestic violence situation that occurred, because the kids were present, and throughout that second investigation, people from the internet were calling, and one of the caseworkers told me that someone was calling and saying, "I know her from YouTube, and this is what she's doing here, and da, da, da." Um, I don't know about the 3rd one, though. No, I think the 3rd one was strangers online, but I'm not exactly sure. I have to go back and look at my notes. Either way, it's all, like, anonymous, which I think that they're changing. I think that now if you call DCFS to report child abuse or child endangerment, child neglect, whatever, um, I think they're trying to make it where, and some states have done this, but I think they're trying to make it where you have to give your name, because if you're telling the truth, you're gonna say it with your full chest, right? Awesome. Because what is happening is people do it out of spite. People do it to be shitty. People do it to be mean, and the whole country is just wasting time and resources because people are vindictive and shitty and petty and mean. Um, and at the end of the day, when you do that, the kids that actually need help and the families that really need interventions or therapy or treatment or whatever, they're not getting the help because they're so overwhelmed with all these fucking false allegations and harassment. He was in prison. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even trying to stop vaping. He was in prison? I missed so much, didn't I? I'm gonna try to catch up. So the false allegations and the calls, I believe, have stopped. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, but the thing is, I they marked it as harassment, so if someone does call and they say the same shit they've said all year, then that's flagged in their system, and they're like, "We've drug tested this chick 3 times in 3 separate investigations. We've done, pee tests, we've done mouth swab drug tests, like, their kids are great. Doctors, everything checks out, the house checks out, like, there's nothing wrong with the situation. The kids are safe, the kids are happy, the kids feel safe, they're not neglected, she's not using." So, they've done that 3 times, and every case takes 60 days. 3 times it's been false or unfounded. So now I don't know if the calls have stopped. I just know that they're not bothering me anymore because at this point, it's, like, so obvious. She has her lives before each episode. No, episode 3 is out. Episode 4 is coming out hopefully on Sunday. Hold on, let me check. Shouldn't you remember what you did? Yeah, maybe I should remember. Remember what you did. That's me. Every time I click on YouTube, I always see Bunny, Jelly Roll's wife. I always see her videos, and I just adore her. I'm glad she always pops up on my FYP. Oh, Randy update? Okay, so Randy is in jail, um, and yeah, you can see episode 3. Randy's in jail, and he is facing quite a bit of time. like 10 to 15. Unfortunately, the state is a little corrupt and they have absolutely no fucking evidence to support these charges. And it sucks. It really, really sucks. But um, he calls a lot and I'm trying to help him with case law and all of that. Um, I was going to share it in the live too. Hold on. He's in the hole right now. I don't think he'll care if I tell you. He's in the hole because he beat somebody up. So he's probably going to do like 2 weeks to 30 days in the hole and then he can call again, which sucks because we were about to film and record, some stuff so that he can tell you better what the situation is. But right now he's charged with possession or, yeah, possession of stolen guns and I don't know if it says guns, possession of stolen property, but they never caught him in possession of any fucking property. So it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. New York, sorry, one second, guys. New York State, like, definitely fucked up with his arrest and his charges, and if there's any way that I can help him, I'm going to. It's, like, super frustrating that that's what he's going through. Um, but, he's done more time in prison than he's been on the street. Um, it's not funny, I don't know why I laughed just then, but when you're a career criminal, a judge is gonna look at that and they're gonna be like, "Hmm, I feel like if you did these things 3 years ago, that this is your record, you're probably guilty," and they kinda just slap that on you. So even if you are innocent, it's so hard to get out of the system once you're in it. Um, and I really hope that I've been able to change some people's mind on that. Parole is not easy. It's not easy. Once you're in the system, it is so hard to get out. Okay, that's episode 3. Now someone said Okay, I know someone said they couldn't see it. Is this a Randy update? I'm late. No, just someone asked about Randy. You guys can ask me whatever you want. Public pretender. And that's not fair. I mean, listen, public defenders are so overworked, underpaid, and their caseloads are crazy, and they don't have the time necessarily to dedicate to every single person, and to fight for them the way that a lot of them want to fight for their clients. So I think there are public defenders that are so good. They're really good, but they don't have, like I said, the time because they're like, just take a plea, dog. Okay. Like you're probably fucking guilty. Just, that's how I would be. But it's a lot. And the lawyer pushes the plea because um, lawyers push pleas because that's just the way the system is. If everyone went to trial, the system would collapse because we don't have the resources for everyone to take it to trial and to fight it. But they threaten and they push and they do intimidate people into taking plea agreements with the fear that trial would be worse. If you take a trial, you're going to get way more than this. And that fear is what kind of intimidates and forces people to take pleas. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong in every scenario. You know what I mean? Don't take the first plea. Don't take the first plea. Fight it. Look up case law. Study law if you're in a jail that lets you have legal material. Read the legal material. And personally, I think felons are the most knowledgeable when it comes to law because we are fighting for our fucking lives and we're reading books like there's no tomorrow. And like, it's like we're studying for the bar exam, and which I kind of want to do. Yeah, when someone is fighting for their freedom, whew, they will read all that stuff. They will study a lot harder than anyone, just trying to pass a test. It's just how it is in my personal opinion. And they're also subjected to a lot of different cases. Like they're living with people that are literally doing the same thing and fighting for their freedom, you know? So I think felons would make the best lawyers. We laugh because we're uncomfortable. I know, it's ridiculous. I don't know why I do that. Harley, your name's green because you're a member. You're a member. Or better yet, don't break the law. That is very wise. Thank you. Do you know we all break the law every single day because we have so many laws that it's insane. Shit happens, you know what I mean? Shit happens, people break the law, and end up in jail. We're human beings, we all make mistakes, and I think that I don't know what we're talking about right now, but I think that's, like, one of the most annoying and ignorant statements that I've gotten or comments that I've gotten throughout my career is that, like, "Just don't break the law." Okay, this is a video about them, like, literally abusing inmates and breaking the law, and violating constitutional rights, and, like, leaving people in their own period blood for hours and hours, or, like, beating them to death, so just don't break the law. It doesn't really seem appropriate on this video, and that's usually where I get them from, you know what I mean? I get those comments on videos where we're literally talking about, you know, the corrupt system and abuse and the corrections officers and staff and whatever breaking the law and hurting inmates. So, and I think that a lot of people comment that, one, because they just don't fucking know what they're talking about, and two, because it's so hard and graphic and violent and heavy that people wanna chalk it up to just shouldn't have broken the law, because when you really sit with it and you really look at what has happened in our prison systems and how it's gonna take generations to get out of, um, the harm that we've caused generationally, it's hard and it's heavy, so it's easier to move throughout your life if you're like, "Just don't break the law," you know? And I think a lot of times it doesn't come from people being hateful or shitty or evil. I think it really just can be chalked up to, "It's too fucking heavy for me to deal with," and this is, like, a subconscious thing, I think. I'm just gonna chalk it up to, "Just shouldn't have broken the law." Just, "I can't believe you had to defend yourself because of the internet trolls. I never doubted your story for a split second. Thank you." Um, the docuseries is not me defending myself to trolls. Um, did the idea kinda come out of that? Sure, but the docuseries is so much more than me. It's so much more than my story, it's so much more than my relationship, it's so much more than trolls. Um, they don't get credit for it. They don't get credit for it. I just realized one day that I need to stop, like, slowly putting shit out, and, because I was putting out little bits of something here, and I'm like, "I'll get comfortable, I'll feel safe, I'll feel comfortable, and then I'll eventually talk about this," and, like, no, I just need to do it head on, and I need to share my story, like I always have done, to help other people, and I have to do it from a good place. I have to do it from a place where, there's more education than drama. I have to do this to help other people, and that has to be the focus, um, but it's definitely not to just defend myself to trolls. 'Cause they will never get it, and it's not for them. It's not for them. And the entitlement showing people who say, "Just don't break the law." It is a lot of entitlement. Mama Kent is doing good. Is she gonna be in episode 4? She's coming up eventually. I'm trying to catch up on comments. I'm so tired. It's been such a long day. You have every right to share your story. Yep, and it's hard. It's hard when you're sharing your story of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse, and there's other kinds of abuse in there, some of which I haven't shared. It's hard to do that, especially, on a platform this size, and when you're doing it when your abuser is someone that is so well liked and so, like, loved in several different sectors of the world, like, professionally and personally, and here online, it's just even harder, you know? I don't know how his family feels about the docuseries. I would imagine they don't feel really good about it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. They haven't said anything about it. That was kind of my biggest fear, is that they would be upset. Um, but I think the one the I think some people in his family that know him the best, I don't think that they're surprised, you know? But I just hope they don't hate me for it, you know? And it's hard. It's so hard because as much as I care and love them, I also have every right in the world to share my story. And if you did not want the world to know that you did horrible things, that was weird. You shouldn't have done horrible things. And this person is a fucking monster in my story. And my story is valid and my story matters. And I have every right to share it however I see fit. And and I know that I am not wrong in sharing the truth. It doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy. Um, the way that other people feel about my abuse story, about what this person did to me, to our children, how they feel about what I am going through, what our kids are going through is really none of my business. Um, I can't be held responsible for how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Um, like it's so I still have fucked up dreams. I still have a hard time sleeping. I still have panic attacks. I still have a lot of anxiety. I don't have good days. I still have really hard days. Not every day is a good day. And sometimes I'm triggered by something completely innocent that someone else does, you know? Will I ever get another will I ever get another serious relationship again? I'd rather just get hit by a car. I just feel like that's faster. Um, just ignore the trolls. They like it. It's like a death ending an abusive relationship, but people don't realize you need to mourn and heal. Yeah, and, like, here's the thing, I'm so frustrated with myself because, like I said, and this I don't know if this is gonna make any sense. I'm so frustrated with myself, and maybe I shouldn't be. I should give myself a little bit more grace. Um, I'm frustrated that I'm not further along in my healing journey, because I left a year ago, and it's like I haven't been given the space to heal, if that makes sense. Like, the first 6 months of this year, I was woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, cops at my door, um, random people at my door. I mean, just fucking 3 dozen times, dealing with DCFS cases, dealing with family court, dealing with a whole shit show of things. And I kind of just feel like I haven't really had the time. Like, yes, I know I physically left a year ago. But yeah. I think, like, the emotional side of it, the post-separation abuse, that was so like, that is so fucking overwhelming. Um, we have not seen him since March. Um, I was married to a narcissist, and it took me several years to recover. It's been over 10 years, and I'm still single. He was a cop. Nikki, you've been here for so long. Um, I'm so sorry. Can I mod you? Okay. Why do they put block next to mod? I hate that design. Um, so we have not seen him since March. You guys saw an episode 2, 3, 2 or 3. Um, that was the last time that we saw him, and he assaulted me during a visit with the kids. We have our first visit with him tomorrow, and I'm a little nervous. I'm literally scared, honestly. Um, he had a call with them yesterday, and it really didn't go well at all, like, at all, and I don't know if I should even be saying it because this is, like, happening in real time, but I'm scared, and the kids are scared, and, court order the court order says that we have to meet at the public library, and, I don't know, I just we'll see how it goes. I'm never gonna physically force my children to go with him. Cops won't physically force them to go with him, and I think that because of how vicious last night's call was and how upset they were, I'm, like, really, really fucking nervous about it. I'm really scared about it, but we're gonna be in public, and if it turns bad or if I get a bad feeling or sometimes I can see it, like, this is gonna sound fucking insane. Sometimes I can just see the shift, like, I can see that something has changed. His energy has changed, his mood has changed. Like, I don't know, I can see it, and if I see it, we're leaving, and if he doesn't let us leave, I will cause a whole motherfucking scene in public, and I don't give a shit. Um, Girl, take someone with you. I tried that in February, and he, um, he was nasty, and, like, Jason tried to go to the first visit in February. Keep in mind, in November, he almost, um, he held me hostage in our bathroom, and I know I've talked about it a bunch of times. That happened at the middle or so of November. So in February, I'm like, "Can you just please be there? Can you just please be there for this visit? I'm so scared." And, my ex didn't show because I said, "Hey, Jason's gonna be there as, like, a neutral party. Just he's just gonna be there." And he threw a huge fit. Um, and, then he went to get Mindy. So we all kinda know how that worked out. So I don't wanna bring anyone because I don't wanna upset him more, and then that just ends up hurting the girls. Um, Molly, no, he does not have a firearm that I know of because Arkansas State Police took it away from him when he, shot at our friend Matt. Bring someone. I just don't wanna cause any more, I don't wanna cause any more, I don't even know, aggravation. Like, I don't wanna aggravate. He said it would just be him, and the kids, and we'd be in public. Um, if we were not in public, then I definitely wouldn't go, and I will, absolutely call cops if I need to. Part of me thinks that he's not gonna do anything crazy because if he's in public, I just don't think he's gonna do anything crazy because of public setting, so I think we're more safe in that regard. Don't sacrifice your safety for his stupid emotions. Like, I don't wanna do anything that's going to jeopardize visit 1. I don't wanna bring a third party. That's not in the court order. I have to follow the court order, and I'm going to do absolutely everything I can to keep everyone, you know, uh, I'm doing my fucking best, guys. I'm doing my fucking best. I tried that in February, and it didn't go well. Um, I don't wanna do anything to upset or disrupt the visit for the girls. Um, and we're in public, like I said, so hopefully it's gonna be okay. That's my gut instinct is just telling me not to. Um, we'll see. I do have someone that I will be checking in with, every hour, and if I don't check in with this person every hour who will have my location, then they will take care of that for me. So that's really the only thing that I can do, um, other than, like, bring somebody or just not show to the visit at all, which then I would be in violation of the order. So, my location is going to be shared with somebody. Um, yep, and every hour I'm checking in. And the visit's long, it's all motherfucking day, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Can you Can you be quietly texting Jackson JD? I could, but I'm texting somebody that is, just here, not at my house, really close by, so that they can get to me quickly if need be. So, you may not like him, but he is still the girl's dad. I don't like him, but you may not wanna be around him, but he has rights to girls too. Thank you for sharing your opinion. My feelings towards him are completely fucking irrelevant. How I feel towards him, completely irrelevant. What he did to me, irrelevant in this moment. Um, I don't I don't care. If I don't think my kids are safe, then they will not be in his vicinity, Fucking point blank period. I don't care. I don't My feelings don't matter in this context right now. Their safety matters more. And just because you are someone's parent does not mean that you should just get to be around them if you are not safe. If you have not put in work to be healthy and sober and functional, if you are causing harm to your children, you should not have access to your children. Like, if you have physically assaulted their other parent in front of them, if you've driven drunk, if you've harmed them, threatened them, gaslit them, if you've caused harm emotionally, physically to them, you should not have access to them without supervision. And a lot of times, people will use the court system to further abuse their partner, and they don't give a fuck about anything. They don't care about anything besides hurting their ex. And the only thing that can hurt me is if my kids are hurting. What he does in his life, it doesn't fucking affect me. I don't care. He can't hurt me anymore like that. The only way that he can hurt me is by hurting our children now. And that is just what the fuck it is. And I don't care that he is their father. If he's not safe, he's not going to have access to them. And I'm so sick and tired of people saying that. I'm so tired of people saying that. Well, no, he's not going to drive them anywhere because he's totaled 2 cars in 2 years. He drinks and drives, and no. No. But it's not because I am like the bitter baby mama, or like I left. He's the bitter baby mama, Like, my feelings are completely invalid towards him and our relationship. It does not matter. I just don't understand why people want to twist that, like, trust is earned. Yeah, he has to earn back their trust. He has to earn back my trust. He is having his visit tomorrow without showing proof of therapy, proof of sobriety, nothing. He has not submitted a single thing to show that he is sober, safe, functioning. He won't even try to reassure them this evening that they're safe tomorrow. And that's just fucked up, Find another father. What? I'm good. I'm good. I would rather walk barefoot in a prison shower. Really not liking that he couldn't even be mature in a phone call. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in this. I get triggered and I say shit that I probably shouldn't say, But at the core of every single thing I've ever said, every text, every email, every call, at the core of it is me doing everything I can to try to make sure that they are safe. And that is like the most exhausting thing, because I shouldn't have to make sure that our babies are safe with their father. But that's where the fuck I am. That is what it is. I have to do everything that I can to make sure that our kids are safe with him. And that sucks. That sucks that I'm here. What did you say to upset them tonight? He didn't upset them tonight. He upset them yesterday really, really bad. And my oldest yelled at him, which is not like her. And my youngest basically had a mental breakdown. But he did apologize today, and every attempt I've made today to be like, "Hey, what's going on Saturday? Can you please try to reassure them that everything is that we're safe, that this is what's happening?" He just completely ignores me when I try to get any kind of reassurance that I'm safe or they're safe or he's sober. He just completely ignores me. Completely ignores me. He'll either blame shift or give me the fucking silent treatment. And it is what it is. I literally don't expect anything else. And when he's kind, when he's nice, that is when I'm scared the most. Because if I don't like it's so stupid. I should speak generally, really. When you're dealing with people like this and they do something like, say they caused a fucking problem, but then they solve that problem, if you're not like over the moon and you give them all of the admiration and say like, "Oh my god, thank you so much for saving me or solving a problem that you fucking created." If you don't do that, you like gas them up and feed their ego, and if they can't get that validation, they're going to be pissed. And you know, he's not fucking getting it from me ever. Um I'm not gonna applaud the bare minimum. I'm not gonna applaud basic human decency. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not. Um, yes, he does watch my videos. He does. He very much does. Um, I'm worried for myself. I'm worried for my children. I'm worried for his girlfriend. Um, I'm worried, but the thing about that is, they put the work in to make sure that if you ever reach out to the next supply and say anything, they already know it's coming. So I have tried to warn this person, and she's not an idiot. She's not dumb. Um, from what I know about her, she's very intelligent and very nice and very kind. And the perfect mark, because people like that always find people that are empathetic and kind and understanding and intelligent and have some kind of accolade that they want. Um, that makes them look good in some way. And I'm concerned for her. I'm concerned for her. So, it is what it is. Jessica, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I don't condone what he did. Just see you're trying to make it work for the girls, what I'm saying. It's okay, Amber. What you said, like, it might have triggered me a little bit because that's just kind of where my headspace is right now. I'm very defensive. Um, but I think your comment about him being their father and it was not a shitty I don't think you meant it in a shitty way. I think it was kind of unintentional, what it did in my mind because of what I'm going through, So I don't think I didn't take it bad. It triggered me because a lot of people were like, "Well, that's their father." Like, my lawyer said that to me. My lawyer said, like, "Well, he's only getting 2 days out of the month visits. He is their father." I'm like, "Say it again. Say it again and see if I don't smash everything." In my brain because I can't act crazy. I love you guys. Is Nicole still obsessed with me? Pff, yes. I don't know. No, she has been harassing me, talking bad about me, and saying horrible things about me for like 5 years. Yeah, like 5 years. It is what it is. Then he should act like a father. Mhm. Hate seeing you so defeated. It's okay, Shannon. It's a journey, and I know that I'm super defensive right now. I know that it is super fucking personal to me, and I know that sometimes I might, like, talk like DMX. I might just be like, I know that, and I'm working on it. Am I allowed to vape on YouTube? Did I already ask you guys that? Um, yeah, narcissistic or toxic people, they don't co-parent, they counter-parent. So for him to be vicious and act the way that he acted on yesterday's call right before a visit is very on brand. It's very textbook. Schmindy's not nasty to me anymore. We do talk some. Um, she has apologized to me and been really honest with me and shared things that I needed to know, um, which I appreciate. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I did get my baby books and, all of the girls' Squishmallows, which is the most important thing. The girls have all of their things, and I have the baby books, which I couldn't replace. Is there anyone that can come stay with me so the kids and I feel safe? Um, you know, no, and, like, people can't, like, sacrifice their own life to, like, live with me and make sure that I'm safe 24/7, you know what I mean? But I do have 24-hour recorded, hardwired, not Wi-Fi, hardwired cameras that record every fucking angle from this street, that street, so they're constantly recording. I have a pretty good security system, 2 dogs, and, um, any weapon that I can legally have in the state of Illinois as a felon. So, I have a zombie apocalypse pat, bro. I'm doing the best that I can, and I can't have someone, like, constantly just, like, sacrificing their life, like I said, to be here, but, hardwired is so important. Yeah, so I have Wi-Fi, which is what I'm streaming on right now, but then I have a separate system for my security system, which is a hardwire, not Wi-Fi, hardwired into the fucking ground system. So if there's like a storm or the feds, that system won't fail. It shouldn't fail anyway. My dog is like, is that Ruby making that sound? Yeah, I'm crazy. How did I end up getting my stuff back? That is in episode 4. You guys will see. How are you still at 1.01 followers? A million. Yeah, so that would be 1,010,000 followers. So, you know, I want to show you this so bad. Okay, she's gonna be pissed. This is Mindy's this is Mindy's contact picture. We should answer it. You're on speakerphone and it's live, and I showed everyone your contact picture in my phone.
Oh, I don't know what to say now. I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention to your phone.
Oh no,
I'm
I'm on a live stream.
Okay, I'm getting on.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Don't you love her contact picture? It's what you get, bitch. I'm like the worst friend because if you send me some fucked up picture of you, that is your contact picture in my phone. Send me a picture of you at the dentist, bitch. Bye. Send me some crazy, like, it's just what it's gonna do. Contact picture. And I expect nothing less for my friends. And it's not even that hard to get me in a stupid ass like face for that, you know? Wow, you're a bigger person than me to reconnect with her. Yeah, I don't have any hatred in my heart for anyone, and that's literally how I sleep at night. And we'll see how it goes, you know? So if you're into this, yeah, we're all in therapy. We are in therapy, and it's hard. Um, I'm doing shadow. I just got a shadow work journal, and I fucking don't like it. I don't like it. Um, Random, but did you switch to an iPhone? Okay, so I've had an iPhone for like, oh my God, 3 or 4 years. Do you know why? So people that have Android phones and they send pictures to another Android, the picture's fucking great. It's good quality. But if you have an iPhone or an Android and you send a picture to an iPhone, it's fucked up because they're not on the same system. So eventually I just had to be like, listen, most people have fucking iPhones. I'm a content creator. I have to get an iPhone for the camera. And all my shit was fucked up. Like my TikToks would never be in sync, like if I was trying to do an audio. So I literally had to succumb to having an iPhone. I know. Sad. I will never trust her again. Yeah, trust is hard. As a Scorpio, I could never. You know, if you this is what's funny. If you look up Virgo and Scorpios in terms of relationships and friendships, Scorpios and Virgos are very fucking compatible. Did you know that? Okay, but you don't have hatred for Stacy. What? That's not fair. Ask me in a few months. I hate a lot of shit that she did. I hate a lot of shit that has happened. I'm a Virgo, and my best friends are always Scorpios, male and female. Yeah, if you look it up, it's supposed to be like the best relationship and the best friendship. Crazy. I've seen a few comments ask where episode 3 is. So if guys, you're kidding. You're fucking with me, right? I pinned it to the chat. I pinned the link. What iPhone do you have? I don't know. What are you? It's large. Look at the size of I'm small. I'm a small person. 14 plus. I always use my head to measure shit, like coffee cups. The big one. 9/18. My birthday is 9/15. My ex is a Virgo too, so I feel like I don't understand, you know? I feel like some Virgo dudes are trash. How are we both Virgos? You know, I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's sad that you attempt to continue a clearly abusive friendship. Yeah, well, stay toxic, you know? It happens. Do you have more time for yourself and hobbies now that the relationship is over? Yeah, the hobby is like healing the dome. And that is hard and that's exhausting. And I don't want to. Um, I know that in my future, I should never fucking ever try to be like a washer repair woman or like a plumber because that didn't work out. You know, I have worked on my house a lot. I've done drywall and painted and built things, and that's awesome because you know I'm the man around this motherfucker, and that's going good. I can do shit that like I didn't know how to do before. So the hobbies are like literally doing like things around my house or like wallpaper. I'm a fucking beast with wallpaper now, which is awesome. Um, it's like really stupid though when I have a problem like tonight and the fucking house floods and I'm like, where is the valve to this shit? I don't know. Maybe your house is custom and fucking you built walls around shit and you painted all this bullshit black and that's maybe why you can't find anything. But it looks cute, Jess. Good job. Do I swear around my kids? Yeah, no, I do. I do. Um, mhm. Learning maintenance is so fun. So fun. Hate it. I feel like that's like Ruby growling at Bowie. They're not allowed to swear, and they don't. Um, they don't swear. I swear. Um, you know, but I feel like you're supposed to like prepare kids for the real world. You know what I mean? So, what's more important than me swearing in front of my kids is teaching them real mental health words and saying real shit around them and giving them the tools that they need to recognize certain fucking things happening. You know what I mean? And sometimes I swear. By sometimes I mean every day. um, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on. I think I saw something that I would like to read. It sucks when a person's hate towards their ex is a bigger influence on their behavior than the love for their kids. Like, get it together. Yeah. Was your ex using a fake name on YouTube? Police used a different name in the body cam. No, his name is Judd. That's how I refer to him now. Um, in therapy and, my life, my daily life with my friends, I refer to him as Judd. And I think that's because, like, for me, it doesn't have, like, the same personal connection, you know what I mean? I never called him that, and it's just what I call him now. It's how he saved in my phone. It's what I feel more comfortable saying, um, and yeah, so his name is Judd Reese. His middle name is Reese. I don't like saying Reese. I don't know why. It just helps me, and I think that, like, if you've gone through something like that, if you've gone through an abusive situation and someone has been abusive to you, um, the people around you should be okay with you referring to that person however you want to. Um, so yeah. Jude the dude. Yeah, he is different. He's a completely different person in my mind. I'm okay with kids swearing when applicable. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like that is definitely Ruby. Something is going on with Ruby. Um, I definitely wouldn't be upset with my kids if they swore and like it would take me off guard probably, but it would depend on the context, what was going on. It's almost like the person you knew died. The person I knew wasn't real. And, like, the mind fuckery that happens with that is I don't know, and there were so many things along the way that I knew were not okay, that I ignored, that I didn't wanna believe, that I pushed into the back burner or on the back burner, and I think that we do that over time, because 'cause you're so desperate to get back to, like, how good it was, and you just have to come to the reality because it never goes back to what it was. You have to, at some point, recognize and accept that person is not real. You're never gonna get back to that. All of your work and love and whatever, that's never gonna get back to it. Um, like, I thought I could outwork it. I thought I could save us. I thought I could I don't know. It's so fucking embarrassing, to be honest. All of the things that I accepted and allowed and did and just I just sucked it up, you know? Like, why don't you just rip my fucking heart out of my chest physically? Because I feel like that would have hurt less, you know? Um, I should have ever been diagnosed with ASPD. He was actually. So was I though, and I didn't think anything of it. I did get a new diagnosis, and a lot of times inmates are people. People are misdiagnosed for shit all the time, especially women. But a lot of time inmates are misdiagnosed for that as well. And I was, and I never thought anything of it. I genuinely never thought anything of it when he said that he was diagnosed with that too. Um, I see the difference now. Um, whew, shit. You can't change a narcissistic person. They can't ever that's their personality type. They can learn that personality type and they can learn how to not hurt people around them. It takes years of intense psychotherapy. Um, I just don't think that's ever gonna happen in my situation. And it's rare. It's rare that people like that are diagnosed with that because that would mean they have to be fucking honest in therapy. That would mean they have to, like, recognize, "Hey, this is the way that my personality is. Let me work on this." Like, they have to really want to fucking work on it, and it takes years and years and years. Um, but that's their personality. It's never gonna change. How are the girls without him around? This is probably, like, the hardest part is they do so much better when they're not talking to him. They do so much better, and I family court is fucking bullshit. Um, we had, like, not 6 months, 4 almost 5 months maybe, I don't know, where, he wasn't calling, they weren't talking to him, they never brought him up, we didn't talk about him, and they did so much better. mentally, than currently, I think. But at the end of the day, they've done a lot of work too in therapy, and we've talked about it a lot, and they've made so much progress. Has some progress been stunted or whatever? Yeah. Yeah. Um, but they have such a quicker bounce back rate than they used to have. We talk about it. We use real mental health words like, okay, blame shifting. That is not your fault. Everything that happened tonight, I've always said this, but let's use yesterday as an example. This is how I talked to them about it yesterday. What he what he said about, what is happening, it's not your fault. And the fact that he brought up me going to jail 12 years ago, that has nothing to do with anything. That is blame shifting. That whole conversation is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. It's just this is what it is right now. We have to accept that, but not accept it. We have to, how did I say it? We have to understand that his mind is working like that. And we also have to understand that it's not okay. It's not our fault. We did not cause it. We can't control it. And it's not our fault. And that's something that I have to constantly like pour into them if something like that happens, that what you heard, what he said, what he did, not your fault. It's not your fault. You didn't cause it. You can't control it. We can't stop it. We have to make sure we're okay. And it's very hard to speak about these kinds of things with an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old. And I do talk to them about this differently. Um, but we have family meetings, and these girls are so emotionally intelligent. It's crazy. They're more emotionally intelligent than 40-year-olds that I have met. Several of them, several 40-year-olds. I'm like beyond proud of them, and I just can't believe how strong they are, how kind they are, how smart they are, how understanding they are, and how not for the bullshit that they are, and I'm just I'm very proud. Do you use gentle/responsive parenting? I do gentle parent. Sometimes these kids don't gentle child, and that's hard, but I'm very aware of the words that I say, um, and it's hard. I have a preteen. Just check on your friends that have preteens, okay, and teenagers, because I promise you, none of us are okay. But I do gentle parent. You saw the curtains move in the body cam footage when I was trying to get my things on you all day? Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I just queued in the clips. I can't even watch it. Yeah, smash the like button, y'all. It's for free. It don't cost you a dime. Do your kids bring him up when he's not talking to you or ask questions about what happened? Not often. They don't bring him up very often. He does have nightly calls with the girls, and he's missed a few of them, but they don't really bring him up very often. We have to raise them different. Yeah, I have to be the parents because I'm both. Um, hopefully that changes. I have to be the parent that I didn't have. I have to be the friend that I never had. I have to be, the advocate that I never had. Gentle parenting is hard. But at the end of the day, it comes down to like, if you lose your temper with your kids, guess what? You're fucking normal because this shit's hard, right? But they have probably done something that has triggered something in you to respond that way. So it all comes back to like you. And I have to do that. If I'm late or the kids are fighting or loud or screaming or whatever, or I'm triggered, especially with sensory issues. So I have to like constantly check that. Um, and constantly be very mindful of the words because we are like literally pouring either life or death into the people around us. So I have to be very mindful of the verbiage that I use and the language that I use. And that's not easy. I'm a freaking human. Um, but we're raising kids, dude, like real ones, like real humans. They're going to go out in the world and like be someone's boss or employee or coworker or friend or neighbor. And like that's a lot of pressure. Um, Oh my god, is it 10:30? I got on so late. I'm so tired. So I have to go, but episode 4 hopefully will be out on Friday. Not Friday, Sunday. Sunday. Do you guys have any, like, last-minute questions for me before I go? I'm so tired. Yeah, you are the example that you set, which is why it was so important for me to leave. Not really I'm not sure I'm ready for episode 4. Me either. Me either. Am I in it? I don't even know if I'm in it. I might be in it. Mama Ken's doing good. She's cancer-free technically. Visitation works, like this. He is in the state of Illinois for 1 week out of every month for work, and apparently he also is in California sometimes. He travels a lot. I don't know. But he's in Illinois, a week out of the month. As far as I know. Who fucking knows? We'll be posting Patreon. Will you be posting any Patreon episodes soon? I just posted one a few days ago of my bedroom. It's a sneak peek of my bedroom because I'm gonna do a house tour on the vlog channel, which I'm super excited about. And I love my bedroom. I think it came out perfect. So a sneak peek is on Patreon for that. And there's a chat section now, so like not comments, but like a chat. So we can do that now. And I just downloaded the app, which I figured out like 2 weeks ago. Isn't that stupid? Or a week ago, that there's a freaking app and it's way easier for me now. So I can post way more shit over there now, which is awesome. Were his stories on your channel real or did he lie about them? To the best of my knowledge, and there's some paperwork to prove a lot of it. To the best of my knowledge, his stories are real, especially ones where he's discussing Iraq. Um, yep, and like the fake scripts from 2012. Like so, to the best of my knowledge, the stories that he told are true. I have no reason. I didn't even think about it. I have no reason to not believe him. The only video that I can't even watch it to see what was said is the maybe baby story, maybe baby mama video. I can't watch it right now. I'm like not in the right headspace for it. But other than that, to the best of my knowledge, they're all real. Is there a way to help and support my friend in jail? Letters, pictures, money if you can. We're always starving in jail and in prison. So, but the most important thing is, unfortunately, money, via, commissary or the phone, especially if they're going through, like, a really hard time, with their mental health. Talking to someone on the phone, having that connection does, a world of difference in someone's life if they're incarcerated, and letters and pictures because we wanna see the outside world, and commissary because man, we're hungry. So, why did you steal his medals? Oh my god. I didn't steal anything from him, least of all his medals. You guys will see some stuff in episode 4. Um, I have a box of things because, we did live together for, like, almost 9 years. We had a household, some shit was mixed in, so I do have some things that are his that I am returning to him that I would never maliciously take, especially those, especially those. Um, just just fucking happenstance that when I was moving some things out that were my things, that things were mixed in. Um, but if I just wanna say this because I think it's fucking important. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have had those anyway. He, like, literally he said I stole them. Of course he did. He literally has misplaced his wings 1,000 fucking times. I had to keep track of that from places that we moved, from Arkansas to the townhouse to the big house that I moved out of last year. Like, I literally had to keep track of all of his things all of the time, especially those. Um, they would have been lost years ago if I didn't keep track of them for him. So I don't even wanna hear it. He will get those back, um, I guess tomorrow. He said you stole them. That's so funny. What the shit? He also has been saying on text messages online that you're broke. Yeah, I mean, that's he loves to that's really his main MO in terms of controlling people around him. He uses money in as in relationships specifically he uses money to control people that he's in a relationship with, and, because I have been like, "Hey, let's pay some child support," he's like, "Ha, you're broke." No. No, I mean, I'm not as well as I was because financial abuse is a fucked up thing, but he likes that I've been like, "Hey, you have to pay child support because kids have a legal right. It is their legal right to be financially supported by both parents." Um, and, anytime that I have tried to hold him accountable for, um, any kind of, financial situation that is always thrown in my face that I must need him. I'm broke, and he likes that. He laughs at that, and it's just bizarre because you just pay your fucking child support, dude. Why do you have to try to humiliate or lie or try to embarrass the the mother of your kids because you are not doing what you're supposed to do as a parent, It's just ridiculous. Um, and it's hard, it's hard when you're trying to co-parent with someone that wants to counterparent and wants to laugh at you and humiliate you and try to do everything to hurt you. Um, I'm not rich, but the bills are paid and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very blessed. I would live in a fucking tent, like I would live in a tent before I would ever be with him. So it is supposed to be an insult that people are saying I'm broke. It is. It is. But, at the end of the day, you don't know anyone's financial situation, least of all mine or his. Um, but if someone's screaming that you're broke, I feel like maybe there's something on the other side of that fence, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause if someone's screaming that, there's a reason why they're saying it and maybe they're projecting. So, how much have you made this month? That's literally none of your motherfucking business. It's none of your business, and I used to be so open with that. I used to make videos on my vlog channel about how much money I made on YouTube. I was so honest, and it's no one's business anymore, and I'm honestly, like, really tired of people assuming such private things, um, you know? Like, y'all don't know if I have a job outside of the internet. Y'all don't know if I am broke. Y'all don't know if I am ballin'. Like, y'all don't know my financial situation because I have not shared it with you. And I just think it's just very bizarre. Um, that is like a constant thing. I see that in my comments all the time. Just look at the views. On what platform? On what platform? On YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, which platform? Roku? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what platform you're looking at, you know? Just trying to figure it out. These men will do anything to avoid child support. Gary, hold on. Netflix does. Yeah, coming up. Yeah, YouTube is not my highest earning platform anymore, and it hasn't been for, like, 2 years. It is what it is. It's totally fine, but again, y'all don't know if I have a job outside of the internet. Y'all have no idea what my situation is, like, literally 0 clue. You paid for a vehicle that he chose to take away from you. He took most of your belongings to be spiteful, but you still rebuilt your life. Broke or not, you're coming out on top. Thank you. And it's like none of that is easy. However, um, when I left, I was so much more privileged than most people trying to leave that situation. I had the money at the time and the muscle to leave and judge that or not. Talk shit about whoever you've seen with me on the internet. You can talk shit all you want. Cops can't keep me safe, nor will they. Nor will they. Um, as hard as it has been for me, it has been easier for me than it has been for most because I had the money and the muscle to leave. And if you have the privilege and the platform to help other people, dear God, use it. Do it. I kind of fuck with Olive Garden. I do. Like, it's not like it's not the best because you look at these commercials and you're like, "Oh my god, I just want to like bathe in all this pasta and bread." And you get there and it's like, "Okay, it's like a solid 6." I still fuck with it though. um so yeah, I have to go. I love y'all. And I used to work with groups. I am a volunteer now. So I love y'all. I'm exhausted. My dog is pissed, obviously. Um, and I will put out episode 4 as quickly as I can. I'm thinking Sunday, maybe Monday. Um, I have a really big surprise coming up for y'all. Like y'all think you know what the fuck is going on in my life. Y'all have no idea. And I can't wait to share some things with you guys. Yeah, Ruby's mad. Ruby says goodnight. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you later. How do I end it? I should do these more often because then I forget how to use basic things. Good night, you guys.